our YouTube channel titled Vinyl City Broadcasting, your transit express to rock and roll trivia. I'm Marie, the host of VCB. Every so often, and in between interviews with our rock and roll artists, we thought we would change the format of the show slightly and visit record stores in different communities around the country. Today we've chosen a record store in Ocean Beach, California called Cal Records. About a block from the Ocean Beach Pier, another landmark in OB. The pier is the longest pier on the West Coast. Some of these vintage record stores have been around for years and are part of the community's DNA. With the vinyl market making a comeback, literally around the world, we thought it would be interesting to visit these gathering places for music lovers and to talk to their owners about how vinyl has impacted their lives and their store. I'm standing inside Cal Records. Pretty interesting place, don't you think? Artwork hanging all over the walls. Records hanging from the ceiling and behind and inside the light fixtures. Now I'm just waiting for the owner, Greg, to take care of the customer he's with before we go over and interview him. Let me tell you a little about Greg. He's a multi-talented guy. He's a designer. Look at the logo on his t-shirt. He designed it. He plays in a rock and roll band called the Chimpos. And he owns the coolest record store in Ocean Beach. A lot of his collection is donated by acts of kindness from those in the community. He has it all. You're probably wondering how he got the name Cal Record Store. We did too. It's a funny story, and we want you to call him at the store and he'll fill you in. It's funnier when he tells it. Well, he's still with his customer. So let me ask you a few questions. Do you remember the first record store you went to purchase a 45 record? Do you remember what record it was? Is the store still in business? Do you still go there? Looks like the customer just left. So let's go over and talk with Greg.
Okay.
Hello, Greg.
Hello.
We want to thank you for taking a few minutes of your time and allowing our VCB team to ask you a few questions about your store, Cal Records, and what's going on in the vinyl market.
Glad to do it.
Well, how long have you been in business and what got you interested in opening up a record store?
Well, since 1989, and it just fell in my lap is really what happened. I was working for just a few months at a store on Sundays, and the owner decided to sell me the store for $1,500, and the rest is history.
Well, that was quite a deal, Greg. Very good. Now, do you sell anything other than CDs and vinyl records?
Yes, because a number of people that work in the music industry and that are program directors and people on the radio live in the beach area, and so we get a lot of collectibles and unique musical items because of that.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear it. Now, how do you feel about the vinyl market today and how it has impacted your store?
I'm very happy about it. Because I have a lot of records, and record sales seems to be on the uptake, and so I'm happy about that too.
Sounds very good. We've heard a lot of groups now are coming out with vinyl first before they sell their music on the internet. vinyl record pressing companies are getting back in the game. Isn't all of this good for your business?
Absolutely. Unique versions of things with extra songs or on colored vinyl, numbered editions, all of these things. More fun, the more the merrier. And so I'm happy about all of them.
I agree, the more the merrier. Now, do you do business with other stores around the country or even the world?
We do. We sell things online, and so we have another business called Grazeland, like Graceland, but for a grazing cow. And we have a map of the world with pins in China and Russia and all South America and all the places we've sold to. And so it's almost like, even as small as we are, that we're a worldwide business.
Well, that's terrific, Greg. And it does sound like you're a one-stop shop for all musical and vinyl needs. Would you mind if we interviewed a couple of patrons in your store today?
Sure, that's okay with me.
My name is
Thank you,
Marie.
Greg.
What is yours?
Corey?
Hi, Corey.
Tori.
Hi, Tori. We produce a monthly YouTube video show called Vinyl City Broadcasting. And we'd like to ask you if you would answer a few questions for us about vinyl.
Sure.
Thank you. Now, for your time and trouble, we also have a beautiful pair of 45 RPM adapter earrings
I love earrings.
that
That's perfect.
we'll leave with you.
Thank you.
Now, first question. How long have you been coming to Cow Records, and why do you shop here?
A few years. We lived in Ocean Beach for like 4 years, you know, and we lived there for 4 years, and it was down the street, and there's like the local vinyl shop.
It's a nice place to come.
It is. Good. Yeah, they were across the street, and then they moved
I
over
remember
here.
that, yes.
Yeah.
And the second question. We see you're in the vinyl department today. What do you think about the popularity of vinyl records making a comeback? And what do you like about vinyl?
Well, it seemed like it's really making a comeback. Growing up, my dad was a DJ, so we always had vinyl, and our entire apartment was like halfway full just with his vinyl.
Yeah, I
So
feel like
it never really went away. More so, I just feel like it just didn't end up disappearing.
yeah, it's always been around to me too. Yeah, most of my friends and I always listen to punk rock on vinyl records and shit. So it's like always just kind of a thing that was around, I guess. And I guess maybe it's gaining popularity in different circles, maybe though. For us, it's always been a thing.
It just never went away. Once it got
Yeah.
better, it just
Yeah.
didn't disappear.
It's the best sound, so.
It is. I agree totally. Now, what vinyl records are you looking for today, and anything in particular?
Well, I came in looking for a punk record from 7 Seconds, The Crew.
I just didn't want to go home yet, so I was like, hey, let's go to the
Found
record
this
store.
instead.
Maybe you can find something you want.
Circle Jerks, Group Sex, also an acceptable alternative, but 7 Seconds, The Crew, if you find it, get it on vinyl. It's a must.
Well, I'm glad you found something that is really going to work for you.
Perfect.
So thank you guys for answering these questions for Vinyl City Broadcasting. We'll send you a link to the video after we get approval, of course, from you and the record store owner. And I'm going to give you these earrings, Leslie. And next time you go out, wear them, because you'll be wearing a piece of rock and roll history. Hello, my name is Marie. What is yours?
I'm Sam.
I'm Ness.
Hi, Sam and Ness. We produce a monthly YouTube video show called Vinyl City Broadcasting, and we'd like to know if you would answer a few questions for us about vinyl.
Sure.
Thank you. Well, for your time and trouble, we have these beautiful 45 RPM adapter earrings I'd like to give to you, Ness. I wanted to ask you this question. How long have you been coming to Cow Records, and why do you shop here?
Well, we live in North County, so we don't come here that often, but have been for probably 2 years.
Yeah.
And just sort of come in here because I like to go to a variety of record stores and see the different selections, and we were in the area, and always like to, it's always a priority stop whenever we are, just because it's a cool little environment with a unique selection.
I agree. Very cool here. Now, another question. We see you're in the vinyl department today at Cow Records. What do you think about the popularity of vinyl records making a comeback, and what do you like about vinyl?
I think it's really, really cool, especially because by buying vinyl, you're kind of facilitating local business and supporting local communities. I think that's a really cool aspect of it. I also just generally like the sound and think it's kind of an interesting way to listen to music.
That's right. The sound quality is better than digital. I like that people are giving that attention, and also it's got a vintage factor that's becoming more popular in a lot of things, and I think that's leading into the definite revival of vinyl. New artists are releasing on vinyl, which hasn't been happening for a long time, and I think that's a cool window into the modern art culture that's happening.
Many of us do love vintage, don't we?
Yeah.
Now, what vinyl records are you looking for today? Anything in particular?
Well, I mean, all of these are kind of random. Usually I just come in here, I get a look at what's, I kind of make economic decisions. I got some Hank Williams and Arlo Guthrie and Chuck Mangione, but what I got here, I was looking for a record of Bill Evans and Jim Hall's Undercurrents, but they have a different collaboration album, Intermodulation, which I found on CD, which is nice for me because it's nice jazz listening in the car, which is where my CD player is. So I was looking for Undercurrents on vinyl, didn't find it, but I got possibly I can play this a lot more than I can't take my vinyl player around. So I guess this is a good score.
I'm certainly glad you had a good score.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Ness and Sam, in answering these questions for Vinyl City Broadcasting. We'll send you a link to the video after we get approval from you and the record store owner. And Ness, next time you go out, wear those earrings. You'll be wearing a piece of rock and roll history.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
All right. We'll be sure.
Oh, I just thought of one final question, Greg.
Sure.
When Rico was talking to you earlier about early rock and roll and vinyl, you went over to your shelves and picked up a couple of albums to show him. I see you have them in your hand.
Yeah, I have one of them here, Whoppers, and a collection of doo-wop we have right now. But we also get other Billy Ward and Orioles and other doo-wop groups come in, and including this new doo-wop group, Mr. Heavenly.
Oh, well, someone might come in and say, I need that. Now, since the majority of our demographic listens to oldies, what can you tell us about your collection in that area?
We get collections with some regularity, and you never know what you're going to see. You never know what's going to come into the store. As part of the fun of this kind of business, it's like Christmas more than once a year with a big record collection coming in, and so we're always on the lookout for other doo-wop titles and other early rock titles which come through with some regularity.
Glad to hear that, Greg. And what a great record store you have here in Ocean Beach. You have a treasure chest of music that covers multiple generations. Again, we appreciate stores like yours keeping the music and vinyl alive.
Thank you.
Now, Greg, we're going to post all your information on our last slide in case someone wants to get in touch with you about what we discussed today.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
BCB.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I forgot that yesterday. Yeah,
Didn't we all appreciate the interview with Greg and his patrons, Corey, Tori, Sam, and Ness? Thank you, guys. I asked Greg off camera, what's the best part about owning a record store? He said, you never know what you're going to see. And when I look around Cal Records, I see a lot of cool stuff. And so will you. Love it. The artwork on the albums that were done in the 60s and 70s is just incredible. So if you're ever in the San Diego area, stop by Cal Records. Tell Greg that Vinyl City Broadcasting said to say hello. And shop around. I'm sure you'll come across some pearls or treasure of vinyl that you've been looking for. Greg will appreciate it. There's an excellent article that was written about Cow Records and Greg Hildebrand in the San Diego Union Tribune by Mr. Zentler. The link to the article will be posted on our last slide. Read it. It has some additional information about Greg and the store. In the article, he talks about what makes vinyl unique. Greg says it's those sounds. What sounds? Those sounds that are always in the exact same spots, in the right spots. He said, if I hear someone else's version of the same record, the crackles and pops and the skips would be in the wrong spots. It wouldn't be my personalized copy. My personalized copy is the only copy on the planet. Uh-oh. Mine has a little dent in it. Anyway, you know, Greg will probably be with Cow Records for many years to come. He goes on to say in the article, even if I were making enough money and my wife told me I didn't need to keep working here, I would still want to, he said. If I stopped working here, it would be sad if I didn't miss it. Greg's information will be posted on our last slide. Call the store and ask if he has that vinyl treasure that you've been looking for. Let's get back to the big city, Rico, and see if we have any diamonds in our vinyl collection.